But now, what are your thoughts on this whole DirectX 12 thing? There's a lot of people saying that it's supposed to make the Xbox One a lot better. I mean, I'm
It's
not sure, but what are your thoughts? What are your take? What is your take on that?
it's not gonna. There was a story, and a lot of developers are laughing and mocking at it
I
because
saw
the
that.
2x, the doubling the Xbox One. It's not gonna double it, but what DirectX 12 does is it basically takes the console type of development where you're coding to the metal and allow that to work on the PC. So PC games are gonna be developed a lot more like a console game. You're gonna get extra. You're gonna get better PC with a lower end CPU, not GPU, because it takes the load off the CPU. Kind of, it's basically AMD had something called Mantle, and that's
Yeah,
basically what DirectX is doing, but for all chipsets, not just AMD. So you will see a little bit of improvement on like the Xbox One. You'll see better frame rates. I don't think it's gonna magically make everything 1080p, but it will make things a little better. So if Titanfall was made with DirectX 12, it wouldn't be dropping into low frame rates as often. I mean, it would be
got
like
you.
locked at 60.
All
Um,
right, got you.
it's not gonna be as great as everyone thinks it is, but it will help. And I have both systems. I love my Xbox One, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like what how it's gonna improve it. I think you're gonna see bigger changes on the PC though than just on the Xbox One.
Okay, now check this out. One thing I want to talk to you about is about Titanfall.
Mm-hmm.
Never, never in my life have I seen a flagship title not get a video or a screenshot until a day before or 2 days before release. And I'm talking about Titanfall on the 360.
360.
Right? Now, say what you want, but this goes back to the whole PR stuff and not
Mm-hmm.
being truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it,
I'm not sure why they did that because the 360 version of Titanfall, I mean, for a 360 game, it looks good. And they did do some. You can actually run it with an unlocked frame rate. And there's an option to lock the frame rate at 30. So they actually did some stuff they didn't do on the Xbox One version. But I mean, it's not quite as close to the Xbox One version as some people were liking to think. And it was kind of baffling why they didn't just release it alongside the Xbox One version. Maybe they were afraid that people wouldn't get the Xbox One version if that was available because like they delayed it out of March.
yeah.
It was like they're trying to hide it to really just force people to get the Xbox One.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's what I was trying to tell people. When they came out saying that the game was delayed and they had to work out bugs and shit like that, I'm like, look, you're fucking lying. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Straight up. And the reason why you lying is because, first of all, 360 is the easiest system to develop for in comparison to the PS3, ever since 2005. This is your flagship title that you started development on in 2010, 2011, right? The third thing, excuse me, the third thing is this game is not a demanding game. Like it's not like the graphics is blowing you out the water, not even on Xbox One. So it's not like a graphically demanding game. You don't got no destruction. There's not that many people on screen. Like you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. This ain't no Battlefield game. It's not that high in demand and stuff like that. Me personally, Halo 4 looks better than Titanfall on Xbox One. Yeah, and I'm just being honest. Like from what I see, like it to me, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Well, even the 360 Titanfall isn't that impressive for a 360 game. It's impressive that they got all the content from the Xbox One version in,
Yeah.
but it looks like a
Yeah. It to me it
second
looks
tier Xbox 360 game.
yeah, and to me I felt like this whole delay stuff, like just come out and say or just make the 360 date later because you want everybody to buy the Xbox One version because you want people to buy the system to play that game like on that system because this is your new business.
Yeah, it
Just
really
just say that,
that's
like you know what I'm
what it seems
saying?
like. They really wanted to pad those March NPD numbers to make sure that Titanfall and Xbox One had all of March to itself. And there was
Yeah.
no temptation for them to get a 360 version. They wanted people to upgrade.
Yeah, and my thing is, that's the thing about the lies. I don't like that. Like, just be truthful. So that's the way I really felt about that particular situation that relates to a lot of stuff that you went through as a journalist and stuff. So now in this day and age of journalism and game development and just the overall business of gaming and stuff like that, like what's the biggest difference from when you first got into this industry as opposed to now? What's the biggest difference you could probably say?
In terms of like journalism stuff, the sites are a lot bigger now. Um, they're kind of they're run a little differently, but at the same time, I do really think that um, the PR hold that is over certain journalists is a lot stronger now. I mean, you see a lot more, especially back at launch. You had people just flat out lying about the two systems to maintain a
Image.
maintain a mess like stay on message. It was Jim Sterling was talking about how he was gray listed for Microsoft PR because he went off message, and it's like it was like people were lying to create a parody that wasn't there. So they were I saw like misleading spec comparisons between the two systems and stuff like that, and like I remember back in even before I got into the industry. I mean, I actually started at IGN back in 1999, but even then, back during that time when the PlayStation and the Saturn were out, and even before the PlayStation and the Saturn, magazines would tell you, look, the Super Nintendo can run games in 256 colors as opposed to the Genesis. The Super Nintendo has a better sound chip in it than the Genesis, and people were aware of that. They knew the Super Nintendo ran games that looked a little better, but it was a little bit of a slower system. Where the Genesis, they didn't look or sound better, but it did run a little faster. There was no blast processing. It ran a little bit faster in general. And people knew that because magazines would tell them that. And people knew the difference between the PlayStation and Saturn. Now with this console launch, people were lying about the differences to make them say like they were the same. I mean, I have a friend who's the Best Buy manager, and he was lying to people saying that the PlayStation 4 has sharper graphics, but the Xbox One has smoother graphics because he got a free Xbox One.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So yeah, it just made me roll. It really set me off this last November seeing that type of stuff, and it was crazy. And like I said, I remember back to the old days when everyone knew the difference between the systems, and everyone should know the differences between the systems. They should know the strengths and weaknesses.
Now, if you're in fanboys.com, I love the fact that you did it. And I love how you attack people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love how you Now, I love that shit. That's what I'm about too. Shots fired. You know how it goes down with me, man. Like, I love the fact.
If something stupid, you gotta call it out.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
This is wrong. This isn't true.
Yeah, like he's lying, or I be like, I think you full of shit. I want to battle you on your thoughts. Let's talk it out. Let's debate. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you. I mean, how do you know how good of a journalist you really are if you never battling for that spot? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
You gotta back up with what you say with evidence. I mean,
yes.
It's like you go in the courtroom, you gotta back up what you're saying. And it's like just outside of gaming stuff, there's a lot of crazy things going on with movies like Star Wars and the Marvel stuff. And my friends and I were seeing some of these film blogs just spouting off dumb things that they don't know what they're talking about. And I'm like, no, look, I'm gonna prove to you why you don't know what you're talking about. Here's the facts.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love the fact that you did that. I hope you continue to do that. And I really also, live during this interview, I've made a lot of power moves. You know what I'm saying, with my career. There's a lot of things that I'm doing that's going on, and I'm about to do something that's never been done before. As a black man, you know what I'm saying, in the game industry as well. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna talk to you about it, off camera, but on camera, I would love to extend a hand to you and tell you that I would love to see how we can work together in some capacity. Are you up for that?
Absolutely, anything. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of yours, and anything I can do to help you out or any of that, I'm
help each other out, dog. I ain't no selfish dude. Help each other out, man. That's what it's all about, baby. Word up, man. You know what I'm saying? So live right there, my man Jeremy, HipHopGamer, we gonna talk and try to put some things together. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I got a lot going on, a lot of big media things. I'm basically taking over the whole hip hop lifestyle. You know what I'm saying, with gaming. It's really about to be serious. You know what I'm saying? And also, I got a couple more questions for you before I let you go. Now, here's something that I wanted to really touch on, but really get your thoughts on it. Now, when it comes to video games and black lead characters and female characters, in your opinion, why do you think there's always articles in a certain discussion whenever you see a female lead character, and mainly when you see a game company decide to use a black person as the lead character. But when there's a white lead character, it's just regular shit. Like nobody say anything. So like, I understand why, but I just would love to get your thoughts on why do you think, the industry is like that? Why do people feel that every time there's a black character, is you got to make all these articles and talk about this and why the character is there? Like,
because I think they're trying to create controversy and get hits. I mean,
yo, you say it like it is, man. I love that, man. You call it like it is, man.
No, that's absolutely what it is now. Because I mean, I just call someone out. There's a film site out there who he actually, the guy worked at as a freelancer at IGN before I replaced him. He runs a film site and he made a thing about he wrote a story about The Last of Us, and he says and the story's about a guy and a man and a little girl, trying to cross the country, and guess who you play as? And he's like, if you say the little girl, you've never played a video game in your life. And I'm like, I called him out on him. I was like, dude, your site should be called Dumbass Digest because that's not true. And the game you do play as the girl. And
yo, you know what's so messed up? He didn't finish the game.
Like, it's like if you play the game, you would know that the girl's the main character, and that's why they put Ellie on the front of the box. She's right there.
Yeah, and you play as her.
Actually, Naughty Dog didn't make a big deal about that. I mean, people didn't know that she was going to be the main character. Now everyone knows she is, but and since they didn't make a big deal about it, there was no social justice warrior out there saying, "Hey, look, this is great. This is a great feminist story that she's the main character." When the DLC came out, people kind of did that. But I think it's just to create controversy because it shouldn't be. It's not really. It shouldn't be a race issue. It's just like there shouldn't be anything like that. I think it's just stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid. Going on now with movies and stuff. People arguing the same thing about Star Wars and how like some of the people rumored to be in that movie. They're looking at people of all races, and I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, one person was like, why? I saw some comments like, why would they cast a black person in this role? It's like, why wouldn't they? I mean, George Lucas married a black woman. I mean,
yeah, it's like,
that's just so old. Don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, I still deal with that shit when it comes to the game industry. I still deal with that shit, but. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's just like I said. It's just to create controversy and to create clicks because they know people will click on it. If they didn't say anything about it, people just would, hey, it's a great game. It doesn't matter the skin color of the person in the game. It's a great game.
Yeah, and as long as you have fun, it was well worth the time. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have a major question for you, and I always battle out this question with my man Torrance Davis. My people's over at Dual Shockers. I mean, everybody on the internet, a lot of the YouTubers, they always get at me on this. Now, I'm gonna ask you this is like a 2 or 3 part question. So I'm gonna ask you some shit. Now, do you think that PC beats console every single time a game comes out?